I now want to look at probability using something called a two-way table. And the easiest way to do this is through an example. This is what a two-way table looks like. The idea is that we classify individuals based on two different things. In this particular case, their gender and whether they answered yes or no to some question that we asked them. And so we've classified them in two separate ways, so it's a two-way table. And we can find a lot of probabilities from these. For our first example, we want to know what is the probability that a person answered no in this survey. Well, we can see that there are 60 people who said no out of a total of 100. So our probability would be 60 over 100. This time I want to know what is the probability that a respondent was female and answered no. So I need them to be both female and to give a no response. So out of those, I have 40 total people who are both female and said no, out of a total of 100. Next, I want to know the probability that a respondent was either email or answered yes to this survey. Well, if I want to consider the males, we see that we have 52 of those out of a total of 100. I also want to count these people if they answered yes. So we can see that there are 40 of those out of a total of 100. But if we look at this 32 right here, we've actually counted those twice. Once is yes and once is no. So we're going to subtract out that 32 that we counted twice, which gives us a total of 60 out of 100. My next one, what's the probability a respondent answered no given that they were male? Well, this one's a little bit trickier because we haven't done any examples exactly quite like this, but we can figure it out. So the part of this problem that says given that they were male means that I know this person was a male, so I know I'm considering the males. So I want to know the chance that they answered no. Well, I had 20 males answer no out of a total of 52 males. My next one, what is the probability a respondent was female given that they answered yes? The fact that I was given that they answered yes means I know that they answered yes. So I know I'm considering only these people right here. So what's the chance they answered, or what's the chance they were female? Well, I have 8 females out of a total of 40 that had answered yes. Let's look at one more example. Here's another two-way table where we ask students what their year was, whether they were a sophomore, junior, or senior, and whether they were Democratic or Republican. I want to find the probability that the student is a Democrat and a junior. So I'm going to look at both the Democrats and the juniors and see where they overlap. We have 20 out of a total of 78 students. This time I want to know the chance the student is either a Republican or a sophomore. So we'll start with the Republicans, and we can see there's 36 out of a total of 78 students. However, we also want to consider the case where the student is a sophomore. And there are 29 of those out of a total of 78. But we can see we've counted these 8 Republican sophomores twice. So we're going to subtract out one of them so that we only count it once. And we get 57 out of 78. I now want to know the probability a student is a Republican given that they're a senior. So I know this student is a senior, so I'm only going to consider the seniors and ignore the rest of the table. Well, there are 13 Republicans out of a total of 14 seniors, so my probability would be 13 over 14.